Bryce Young, he got to live out the most cynical, the most we don't talk about that part of our brain dream that an athlete possibly dreams. You're on a 3-game win streak with me playing. I get hurt. You try to quiet down the little devil on your shoulder saying, what if they stink without me? What if I'm the key? What if everybody realizes that I'm the one holding all this together, right? Your little devil on your shoulder is talking all that kind of selfish, not team-first mess. And you would never say so publicly, but I promise you, every elite athlete, every super competitor, you definitely don't want the offense to play better without you. You may think like, well, if we win this game 3-0, that would be okay, right? If our defense plays so well, but my replacement, that doesn't work. Publicly, I'm rooting for him. I'm helping him. I'm a resource. I want to. He's a great friend. He'll thrive. That little devil on your shoulder. I hope they don't do too good without me. Well, guess what? Bryce Young was on a 3-game win streak. They had won 4 of their last 5. He got hurt, came out of the lineup. They lost 40-9, and everybody blamed his backup. Even though there was, blame pie to go around, right? Plenty for everybody. Andy Dalton definitely got his share of the blame pie, right? Big old slice. And now Bryce Young might get a chance to go back, might get a chance to play again. The latest for today that we've learned, prior to the show, what I was aware of is he stretched, right? He was out there stretching with the team, which is something he did not do last week. We'll play Dave Canales after practice today, I believe, saying the latest on Bryce Young, and then we'll dive in a bit further. Here's Dave Canales on the latest for his young quarterback.
Bryce had a really good day. We're going to take it each day, try to push it a little bit more. Had a little bit of a modified mode at practice today, but he handled the load. Tomorrow we'll push it again, and we'll make a decision in the next couple of days. But he looked good.
The official designation for his practice today, full participant, which is good. Which is a good sign. Starting about Tuesday of last week. When did they first practice? Was it Tuesday? Wednesday of last week? Whatever their first practice was, when he was off to the side doing the resistance bands and the light jogging, I said it right here on the show. I said, I don't think he's going to play this week, but the fact that he's already moving around the way he is moving around, I think changes the expectations for next week, which is obviously now this week, right? The Packers week. The other part that's making this a bit interesting is Andy Dalton did not practice today. He injured his thumb in the first quarter against Buffalo. Again, for more details, here's Dave Canales.
It was early. It was in the first series of the game, I can tell he injured his thumb really early in the game. He was a stud. He gutted it out and was able to be out there and allow us to finish the game that way. And just really blew up on him after the game. And we got imaging on it and did our process over the last couple of days. So we got to see where he's at going into this weekend and make decisions from there.
It's always an Andy Dalton thumb injury that accelerates the return of Bryce Young. Remember, benched last year, Andy Dalton takes over, he gets the thumb injury in the car accident. Bryce takes over, and he keeps the job the rest of the year. This year, Bryce gets hurt. Who knows when he's going to be back? 2 to 4 weeks we're here. Andy Dalton gets a thumb injury. Maybe that's the deciding factor. Bryce, I don't care if you're 75%. You got to play because Andy can't go. Or because Andy's also 75%. And quite frankly, he wasn't good enough at 100% to justify us forcing him back into the lineup. Also, maybe that makes us feel a bit better about Andy Dalton. First quarter, thumb injury. Thumb injuries hurt when you're playing quarterback. And maybe a little distraction, a little rattled. Maybe that explains some of it, maybe. Maybe at least to make him sleep at night, he'll pretend that it explains some of it. I think I've told this story before. One of the first games I ever played, it was a high school level quarterback because I eventually played quarterback in college. The school I was in was K through 12, so it was 7th, 8th, and 9th. We had one game where we were going to blow the other team out. Okay. And the B team, right? The second, third stringers were going to get in. I was a 7th grader, and I got to play 2 series at the end of the game for the freshman team, essentially. First play, low snap, bend down to pick it up, get leveled, break my collarbone. Am I going to come out of the game? Absolutely not. It's the only game I'm going to play all year. Coach comes up to me, what play you want to call? I said, 4 verts. I threw a quacking duck, like not like a wounded duck. Go back to the sideline. What play you want? 4 verts, coach, threw a wounded duck. After the game, they did that like 3 or 4 more times. Like, really not a great experience. After the game, they found out that my collarbone was broken. The reaction from my parents, oh, thank goodness. Because they thought I just was bad. Instead, they're like, you're hurt. That makes so much more sense. We don't have to pretend like what you were doing out there was admirable. Andy Dalton might have a little bit of that, right? It was a really rough game for you, Andy, wasn't it? I really hurt my thumb in the first quarter. Oh, thank goodness. I don't have to pretend like what you did out there was admirable. Maybe? Anything? Anyway, listen, here's the deal with Bryce Young. Here's the way I look at it with Bryce Young. If he's not 100%, right? Or if he's not at least close enough to 100% that you're treating him as if he's 100%, right? Calling all the same movement plays, trusting him to run the ball, giving him the RPOs where he might be, running downfield exposed to getting hit by the defense. If he's not 100%, I have no problem if they want to look at him and tell him point blank, play like an old man, right? Play like you've lost a step. Go get your old guy with 2 knee braces at the YMCA on, right? Like, don't even try to jump and block shots, right? Just move your feet and do your best. Protect the football. The ankle, the foot, the knee, they're a long way away from protecting the football, right? Do your arms work? Get 2 hands on it in traffic. That's really the way I look at it. The way I look at it is when Bryce throws for less than 200 yards is sometimes the best way the Panthers can play. Now, obviously, game on the line, things change, right? If you need a first down and it's 4th and 7, don't protect yourself there, right? That's where you got to put your body on the line for your team. But first quarter, second quarter, just take care of the football. Get rid of it quick. I'm trying to think of who the mic'd up is. I absolutely loved NFL mic'd up. And there was an edge rusher. I forget who it was, but they were playing Tom Brady. And Tom Brady it was one of those games where he didn't trust his offensive line. So he just got rid of the ball in like 1.7 seconds every time. And the trash talk of the edge rusher to the offensive line was hilarious. Because it was like it was more logic based than it was what you would think, like the macho just yelling at each other saying, mean things. It was literally like, the only reason I don't have a sack is because Tom's getting rid of it quickly. It has nothing to do with what you're blocking. You can't stop me. He knows it. That's why he's getting rid of the ball quick. If that's Micah Parsons, if that's Rashawn Gary, that's good, right? If they're yelling at whoever ends up, Taylor Moton didn't practice today, did he? Taylor Moton didn't practice. So whoever's on the offensive line, if you have Micah Parsons yelling at them, mic'd up, going, you have nothing to do with me not getting sacks. It's Bryce getting rid of the ball too quick. That's fantastic. Whether he's throwing it away, whether he's dirting it, or whether he's giving his guys a chance on quick routes, if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to be. Here's the way the Panthers pass game is going to be judged by me for the rest of the year. The same way I judge a running quarterback. I want them to throw the ball and have success and all of that. The minimum amount that you have to throw the ball to make sure a defense can't bank on you not throwing the ball, right? Like with Lamar Jackson as a runner or name your Justin Fields, any of them, right? I don't like those guys exposing themselves to hits. So the amount I want Lamar Jackson to run is the absolute minimum amount that they have to worry about Lamar Jackson running every play, right? That they have to put a spy, that their edge rushers can't come after the quarterback, collapse the pocket as much because they have to keep contained. I want him to run the absolute minimum amount that they have to worry about him running every play. That's how I want the Panthers passing game to be. I want you to throw it the absolute minimum amount that they can't put like 8.5 guys in the box to stop Rico Dowdle. The absolute minimum amount to keep defenses honest. And then within that minimum amount, make sure a lion's share of it is going to Tepper McMillan or Jalen Coker, right? Then you divide it up to your playmakers to make sure they're getting the opportunity to make plays. But I do not have a problem with looking at Bryce Young and saying, listen, your ankle's not 100%. We're going to play you anyway because the options that we have obviously didn't live up to expectations last week, and we think you give us the best chance to win. But don't be a hero out there, right? Throw it away. Dirt it. Punt. Let Rico be the engine. And have some sense for the moment, right? When there is the jugular, if you want to go for the jugular, fine. When there is the fourth down that you need to convert, yeah, don't throw it away then, obviously. But I don't need you out there trying to be a superhero. Canales talked about the availability of the quarterback and how that will impact the offensive game plan, which is kind of what I'm getting at here. Here's Dave Canales talking about the game plan and Bryce's availability and how that might make things different.
We have to consider who's out there and what they're capable of doing as we put our game plan together. And, the hope is that we can do as much as possible in the same way that we've been functioning. And that goes into the decision, for Bryce last week, how much can we ask him to do in this game, and didn't feel like, it was time. And this week, as we're evaluating him to see what he can do, just making sure that we have our full complement of plays, to balance out our attack.
I don't think you're going to have the full complement of plays, but I don't think you did last week. I don't think Andy Dalton opened up the playbook 100%. I think at times Dave Canales doesn't trust Bryce fully healthy with the full complement of plays. Find the ones you need. And trust the defense and trust the running game. Might be a little bit more difficult to trust the defense after seeing them get gashed by James Cook, but you got to. You got to trust something, and the defense has been the more dependable of the bunch over the last month and change.